Hey guys, Shawn Ziem, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor, and the host for the Webtalk Legends Podcast. It's all about bringing guests on, sharing their story, having you listen and actually implement some of the trials and tribulations, some tips and tricks that go on in their lives, some strategies that have helped them, some of the adversity they had to go through and you learned from. It's all about being real, being authentic. And I want you to sit back and enjoy. If you are a couple housekeeping things when you're popping in right now, please, if you're hashtag live, if you're live, hashtag replay, if you're on the replay, if you're one that's an overachiever, which we love, please, engage us throughout, but drop a comment where you're watching from, and also through, if you like, dislike, throw a thumbs up, thumbs down, fire, fist, a fire, what have you. The more emojis, the better. Helps us in our algorithm. Before I bring on my guests, I want to make sure that you all are aware of an opportunity that every one of you should be involved in. It's got backup cloud storage, 6 terabytes data backup. For $9.97 a month, includes up to 6 accounts, Android and iPhone apps, and you also have automatic backup. Set it and forget it. Access to your photos, your documents, and data from anywhere in the world. Military-grade encryption and security. There's a 10,000 square foot facility in Texas, in the U.S. that's housing all the clouds, protection, all the opportunity there. And you protect the outside of your phone. What about the inside? Use my link, connection.backuptour.com. Let me bring on my guest, my next guest. Let me bring this in here, turn this off, and I'm going to bring on Ben Bauer. Let me bring him
How's
in
it
here.
going, Shawn?
Give me 1 second. And I am with him. What's going on, my good friend? How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for kind of having me on here today, Shawn. Excited to kind of, chat a little bit here and get it a little going.
Yeah, man. This is what people should be doing on a regular. This is something that it's something they should be continuously growing their network and making that happen. We must have a delay. Do you have a little delay?
A little bit, but it's not too bad. But so it's been wonderful. When I first kind of got connected with you, Shawn, it was a big piece of that. How am I able to use, the knowledge of what I've been doing for my entire life to be able to get other people into that and to be able to see different industries, different families, and kind of what makes them tick. Again, my name is Ben Bauer. I'm currently a financial advisor, financial planner here at Creative Financial Group, just in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. Prior to this, I was actually a professional ice hockey player for a few years. I was able to kind of do some of those tricks, be able to do a lot of camps, clinics, private lessons, and really tried to build out my personal brand by what I was doing so well at and my profession that I had kind of played my entire life. Kind of going through it where I went from kind of that hockey player to be able to go into where I am now, which we'll get into a little bit later, is more first year that I did play into the professional leagues. My team actually got into a pretty unfortunate bus crash. We flipped off the side of a highway. So I went from my idea of playing, professional hockey for 15, 20 years, hitting that NHL dream, hitting that contract to, hey, what am I going to do now? And now that I'm not just seen as this athlete, somebody that people go look up to, what is kind of my next place and where am I able to add most value? And I think my connections through hockey, being able to make those personal connections with families to help their child or how they might be able to, kind of see the game into different lights rather than just that parent. So I've used a lot of those resources, a lot of those connections to really kind of take me where I am here to this financial planning role. And it's been wonderful. It's always, just like it's about how you can help people, how you can take some of that information that people have given you, whether that be the mentors, the managers, even the people, the families and businesses that we meet, and be able to expand some of those out. So when we first got connected and I've been able to hear about all these different people, all these different organizations, apps and whatnot that you're doing, being able to connect with people so people don't feel, as concerned. A lot of people are negligent. They don't really know as much. With like, hey, I don't know if I should reach out. Hey, I don't know about that. But if you don't ask, you don't kind of reach out, the answers are always going to be no. So, in that financial world, most of the business is kind of knows, hey, I have this, hey, I have that. But if you're kind of into that world to really just help yourself out, be selfish about it, it's not going to work. The part that I've kind of learned from going in through athletics and now into this financial space is how I'm able to kind of build up my team, to be able to go reach out to families and businesses. And it's not, hey, you're not just paying for Ben. you're paying for my senior partners, you're paying for our technology, and for all those kind of pieces to it. So, I've always wanted to be, I'm a big person on my why I'm doing things, why I'm able to kind of go from that. And it's always been how I'm able to provide for my family and how I'm able to help out some people. So I found kind of a great role from where I'm at here now, and, kind of looking to be able to, talk to some more people and see what's kind of making them tick and keeping them up at night.
That's it, man. I love it. I love how you just gave us a little story, gave us a little background on what you're doing. I love hockey is a difficult sport. It's not like the
Yes.
normal, go on the wood floor for playing basketball. You might go into a pool for swimming. Hockey, man, you have to be able to skate. You have to be able to skate forwards and backwards, agility, swing a stick, catch it, be able to pass and shoot. And besides that, people are trying to hurt you, check you, and everything else. What got you into playing hockey, man?
Yeah, so I've played hockey my entire life. Last name Bauer is kind of a pretty famous hockey name. It looks good on the back of a jersey. I wish I got the paychecks for it, but I got started into hockey by my dad. So my dad's name's Dave Bauer. He, growing up, was instrumental in kind of the USA hockey program, especially in kind of the Atlantic District. We moved up to Maine. He was a coach at the University of Maine when I was a kid. He coached at the Penn State University. And that was really kind of what made me originally kind of see, hey, how I could make hockey what I wanted it to be. So he always kind of instilled those same things, how I'm able to be a big part of a team, how I'm able to help people out, and be able to use whatever I have to be able to give to some of that next generation or help out with some of my teammates. So, things are always going to happen. And that's what I've always wanted it to be able to do. So that's how I got started into it. My entire life, it was, hey, this is exactly what I want to do. And I had the support from my parents. I had support from a lot of my family and friends to get there, to help me reach some of those goals where, hey, no, you don't have to go to this party. You don't have to do that, because I had some of those goals. And I think, using a lot of that, having kind of build up some of those calluses is really kind of helped me into my professional career now, as I'm able to kind of sit down with, businesses, sit down with influential people, and be able to talk about a myriad of different things. So that's really how I got started into it, and just the love of the game.
Now, in sports, we have, and you work your way up as you get older, you get better, you're getting stronger. There's more of a thing called sacrifice. So if you want to be really good, you have to sacrifice other things sometimes. What were some sacrifices you had when you were playing sports? And what are some sacrifices you think as being an entrepreneur currently?
Yeah. So the sacrifices for sports, I think a lot growing up, what was a lot of that time. Growing up, there's people that, get to go to, summer vacation for 2 weeks, or, hey, I get to go to the mountain skiing with some of my friends. I was never really kind of able to do that. I knew when I got home from school, I had to finish up my schoolwork. I had to make sure these things were done so that I was able to go to practice. My parents were great. The one thing they always told me was, hockey's only temporary. School is going to be forever. As although you want to get to where you wanted to be in hockey, you need to get there at school first, because no matter what happens, everyone's going to end up in beer league eventually. So you might as well be the smarter beer leaguer than, the dumb one trying to figure it all out into that side. So it was like kind of time there. The fun things that I think a lot of kids kind of assume as being like, hey, I get to stay out all night. I went to this party, or I got to, sleep over at my friends' houses for, 5 days in a row. Those aren't some of those things, because I wanted to be able to build up my skill set for later on down the line when I was able to kind of go complete some of those. So, just like into your professional career. Now I think, some of the things that you do give up with my career, it's much more where I have to be, when my clients are available. So for the most part, a lot of them are working as those 9 to 5s. So how am I able to kind of, take some time away from my family, whether that be earlier in the day, later on at night, like, hey, having meetings at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, because that's when our clients are at home. That's when they're ready to kind of get things done. That's when they feel comfortable to be able to talk about things like their personal finances that they've been able to build. So that sacrifice was being able to change that mindset for my fiance, where, hey, there's going to be a night where I'm not going to be home from 7:30 to 10. But I promise this next night we're going to be able to do X, Y, and Z. And the reason I'm doing all this work right now is so that I can build up a lifestyle for us in 10 or 15 years, where we're able to go onto these vacations, where we're able to leverage the relationships and leverage what I've been able to do. So it is looking at that long-term kind of piece. And I think the whole financial planning model has really helped me with that. Instead of kind of looking at the 5 feet in front of your face, it's what's happening at the end in mind. Many times when you talk through financial stuff, like so many people that are just advisors, it's like, hey, what do you have? It's what do you got? What do you got? Here into this planning role, it's, hey, what's the end goal kind of looking like? Where does the money go? Why do you want things to kind of go like this? And I think when we were playing hockey, it was that end goal. It's not, hey, I'm gonna work on this toe drag, or I'm gonna work on this one shot. It's, how am I able to build up these little things so at the end of the season, those playoffs, the championship games, I'm ready to be able to know what is kind of going on. So, it's taken a wild ride. I mean, the industry itself is building your own book. You have to make a lot of these connections. You have to be vulnerable, and you have to kind of be comfortable in knowing what it is that you do. So, just like in sports, you sell yourself, you're not practicing if you love it. If you love this, you're not practicing. Wayne Gretzky said that all the time. Like, I didn't practice. I loved it. I wanted to go out there and do it. And now into this business world, I don't get to pick up a stick and just start hammering pucks out and get some anger. Now it's about how I'm able to kind of build up some of those calluses, how I'm able to speak with different people that are, maybe had a rough day, maybe had a bad time to the market, maybe had a bad taste in their mouth for the last kind of advisor they had to step with. So that's really where I'm trying to go with it, and how I'm able to continue to expand, continue to build, and meet other different people that are kind of into those same breath. Because if one person can have a conversation and I can build up some of those skills, and the next person I talk to, they need some of those, hey, why don't you guys get connected? I want you guys both feel, I can't promise I'm going to give somebody $1 million tomorrow and they're going to retire, but I can promise to get you connected with some people that can help you, continue to move that pole down the line.
That's what I found, is the more that I can help somebody with a solution to their problem. It's not all about, in my world, the insurance, the PNC, the home and the auto. It doesn't matter. It's all about connecting to what they need. And the more that I do that, I found it opens up doors. So now you have other professionals that you actually taught how to recommend you. So when an opportunity comes up, you're going to get more recommendations, because most of the time, and I was talking to somebody the other day, how many recommendations for your business currently, and it's everyone out there, I want you to drop a comment. How many recommendations for your business have you gotten from your mom? And I'll be completely frank, I have 0.
Yeah.
Why is that? How does someone that brought you into this world not recommend you? Because I didn't teach her how to recommend me. We don't think about that. You got to teach your own mother how to recommend you. Teach your own family members how to recommend you, because they'll go somewhere else, right?
Yeah. So it's tough. I know the first couple of times when I had asked, a lot of the times it was, Ben, I can tell them that you're my son, and I can tell them this. In this business, a lot of people wanted to see if you were able to stick it kind of out. I've gotten 2 referrals from my mom just because of, based on her current position. She's a chief development officer at a school, and 2 people at her school were going into some strange family issues and needed some help with some estate problems and some investing. So it was able to help. But I would say for a decent amount of my family, it was, hey, can you help me out? But it wasn't, hey, here's how you can help me out. Here is why we should say it. They're going to listen to me because they love me and they want to make sure that I am taken care of. And they trust that I would do whatever it takes. I would climb over any door, jump under anything just to be able to help them get to those. But the people that I have been able to make those connections with, to let them know, hey, this is how I want to refer business. And the reason I want to refer it, it's not me. It's not a selfish kind of thing. I hope everybody has a financial plan. If it's with me, hell, that's awesome. I would love that. But to be able to have people into your corner that are going to be able to answer these questions, that are those professionals, either fiduciaries that are going to give you the best interest advice constantly. But being able to tell people, hey, this is why I'm doing it. It's to help them. It's to help you to be able to help your friend out. Yes, everybody's going to make some money at the end, but the whole point of it is that your friends either want to save money, have some more money for down the line, or have cash flow for doing to be able to, achieve some of these goals that they're looking for right now. So, yeah, I mean, the business has been great. I've loved a lot of the mentors and the team that really we've been able to build. And that's something that was really interesting to me. I don't want to be just myself trying to find all these pieces. I want to see, hey, who are these members of my team that are going to be able to help, this family? Or, hey, I sit down with a business, get a lot of their information. Hey, my one senior partner would be perfect to be able to meet with them. There would be have some great connection. They have close family, or just kind of into some of those industry kind of pieces. Why? But yeah, so I mean that's kind of really how I got started into it. Hockey's been an amazing little piece. I'm still coaching today. So I coach over at Iceland. I coach for a team called Team Philadelphia. So I coached the 2010 team. This is my 5th year coaching. It's been fantastic. I would say a good portion of where my clients are is from that rink, because it's all about trust. People have to trust you and they have to like you. And if they don't like any of those, they don't really care, what you know. So that's been a great little piece to it. And I hope to continue to coach and use my knowledge to be able to, inspire some of that next generation to continue doing what I was doing.
Inspiration is important. It's always something that you should be an example of what you want to be around. If you are going to be a dad, you want to be a good example to your kids. You have a team, you want to be a good example to that team. You don't want a lazy leader. You want somebody that's going and really working the business as well, not just sitting back and hoping that he's going to get overrides on his team. So it's very important to inspire, being consistent. Being an entrepreneur is a difficult thing for some people. You have to have some, daily disciplines. What are
Yeah.
What are 3 daily disciplines that you have currently that you can share with us that you must do every day?
Yeah. So one thing that my senior partners really kind of instilled into us to be able to have is I have, something daily that I read. So it's like my goals. It's like how I affirm myself. So I walk in every day and it has, some of the quotes that I kind of like. It has, pictures of some of my, favorite NHL players or people that are inspiring to me. I have a David Goggins video that I put on and I just get all fired up. And I say, I don't care who says no today. But those thought conditioners have been big pieces. It's a huge picture of it. It just says why. And every day I have to start with why I'm doing this, why I sit on the phone, and why I let people say, don't effing do this and don't do that. And I don't want to hear this.
Yep.
My why is going to be why. And, if that's not good enough, then I got to find something else. So every single day, or when something's going bad, a form doesn't go through, somebody doesn't get a rating that you want, somebody says no when you thought that it was going to be a great little spot, it's always kind of going back to that. So it goes back to the people that I need to reach out to, how I'm able to sharpen my sword, so to say, get back out there to be able to hit onto those next ones. So using a lot of those, that's kind of like my daily affirmations where, hey, I read that. Now I'm walking into that office right there. How can I get this started off onto a right foot? Before my day ends, which is another great piece that a lot of my mentors have taught me, is I close down every single one of my days. So I have an end to it. Some people, because the way this business is, it's a 1099 business. You could work at 2:00 in the morning if that's what you wanted to do. But I'm trying to have these focused hours where, hey, at the end of my day, I have practices on Tuesday and Thursdays. I play Monday nights. I have time. I set scheduled out with my fiance. Shutting down my day to be able to have the list of people that I'm going to talk to tomorrow, the list of people that I need to follow back up with, the list of, hey, here are the documents I need to have done. So when I walk in that next day, all right, here's the first things I have to do. Here's the next things I have to do. These people I talk to in the morning, these people can only talk in the afternoon, and these people I got to talk to at the end of the night. So that's been a great little piece because I get to go, okay, my day is done. I know where I'm going into that next day. So I don't have to walk in that day drinking my coffee, try to think about who I'm going to talk to, and almost waste some of that first little bit. And then the third one that I'm constantly doing is doing a lot of these networking events. I've joined up one of the agents that I was working with when I was growing up and when I was playing. He's started the Philadelphia Hockey Players in Business chapter, where it's been a fantastic place to be able to, sharpen my sword, learn about a bunch of other different businesses. So I've been getting out there and doing a lot of events, and I've been, one of those people that likes to sit back and I want to be in I am to be able to absorb all that knowledge. So, pretty much every day I'm reaching out to some of the more influential people that I know, not as much of, hey, I want to handle all your stuff, because those people have, 20 of me's. What I want to be able to do is leverage some of their knowledge to have them tell other people, hey, Ben's an awesome guy. And that's first things first. I want to be an awesome person. I want to be somebody that people want to call, not they look at their phone and be like, this damn Ben guy is calling me again. I want to be able to show that value, because it is a long-term play. I don't expect anybody to answer a phone one time. I call them January 24th, 2024, and they go, okay, well, here's my social security number. Here's my credit card number. They go, no, I want you to show that I'm here and that I care, not that I just found your phone number on the internet and be able to go through. So it's constantly going back to reaching out to those people. Hey, am I able to sit down with you? Can I bring coffee and donuts over to the shop just so your employees feel a little bit better? All of those little things is just kind of planting seeds for me all the time. So I would say those three things are going to be big. The shutting down my day, having my thought conditioners every single day that I'm kind of looking at, and then utilizing those people that are most important to me and seeing how I can continue to help out.
Love it, man. That was fantastic. There's so much golden nuggets in here that people are going to be, if they implement some of the ideas that we're talking about, man, it's going to be lots of good success stories happening. Ben, I would love to end on this. I asked people to come on the podcast. A lot of people, don't take me up on it. What made you take me up on the podcast? And also, how did you feel before you got on and then before going through it?
I think I lost it here for a second. Say that one more time.
You. Oh,
yeah.
I would love to find out. I asked a lot of people with the podcast if they would join me. I get a lot of no's, but you said yes. Why did you say yes? And also, what did you feel as far as the experience of doing a podcast in your eyes?
I felt like I wanted to say yes because at the same breath, I wanted to be humbled in the fact that, this is a new thing. It's not like I sit on and do podcasts a lot, but I wanted to come on here because I know the work that we do makes huge impacts on people's lives. So I wanted to be able to be there and tell you guys, hey, these are hard. I know talking about your finances is difficult. I know talking about your life savings to people is one of those taboo things. But being able to have trusted people that are by your side, it makes all the difference in the world. So taking a little bit of time where I get to feel a little bit uncomfortable is only going to help me to be able to say, hey, I can stand in front of a room in front of 20 CEOs. I can stand in front of a room in front of, HR professionals and be able to deliver what this is and not tremble in my seat because I don't know what I'm saying. I need to have that conviction every single day. So when you ask me to do it, the thing I wanted to be able to show is that, I would do anything for a lot of these people that are able to help, because I only have this job because they decided not to teach you guys this stuff in school. It's a blessing and a curse, but I get to connect with a lot of amazing people. So being able to jump onto the talk like this and say, hey, this is what I do. But the biggest piece was, hey, look, we're just chatting. We're talking to two great people. It's good to be able to, know a lot more about what you do and know about what I do. So, hey, if I can, suck up some pride a little bit, hop on and be able to chat about a lot of these things. And then as soon as you do it, you realize, hey, this is just a fun conversation. I get to talk about hockey. I get to talk about finances. I get to talk about how I get to help people out. So I love a lot of those pieces. But yeah, the real reason, I guess that was one story I didn't really get to tell with that bus crash. So I played for the Columbus Cottonmouths in 2017. It's a Southern Professional Hockey League team down in Columbus, Georgia. We were on a bus trip from Georgia to Illinois. We were about 12 hours into our 12 and a half hour bus trip, sitting in the front row watching a movie, and we're going off this exit ramp. And prior to that, our team was owned by the family that owned Aflac. So everybody got an accident policy. And everybody was wondering, like, why the hell am I getting $20 a week taken out of my check for this accident policy? And inside of it, I remember looking through some of the documents, and it said, hey, if you were to get hurt, you get this. If you get stitches, you get this money. If you were to die, your beneficiaries get 25 grand. And I remember I called my mom, and I was kind of just joking. I'm 25 years old. I'm laughing. I'm like, hey, Mom, if I pass away, you get this. And I won't swear on here, but she was like, F you. Don't you ever say that. You're worth more than $25,000. Shut the hell up. During this time, we're 12 hours into this 12 and a half hour bus trip, and we're going off an exit ramp. The black box said we were going about 80 miles an hour, and we took this huge left-hand turn, and we just didn't make it. So taking this huge left-hand turn, went down kind of the embankment and kind of smashed onto that ground. So me being into that front seat, the only really place to go was forward. So I opened my eyes, and I'm outside sitting into the mud, kind of getting rained on. So that's where my kind of mind switched from, hey, I'm playing hockey for the rest of my life. I'm playing 20 years into this league. I'm moving up. To that's the first time I'm in a hospital bed in a neck brace, have a broken hand, messed up tendons of my thumb, and they're asking me if I have a living will. Who are the beneficiaries of my accounts? Where is this? What happens to that? And it's the first time I had to meet with insurance adjusters. The first time I had to talk to a lawyer. It's the first time for a lot of these pieces that I felt like, hey, my whole life I was playing a game, and now I'm in a profession. Now I'm an adult. Now that was my career. And I went from that switch of, I don't want to sit on a bus every single day for the rest of my life. I want to have that safety where I can take care of my family, because the only thing I wanted to do after that happened was be right with my family and the people that really cared about me. So my goal is to be able to make that lifestyle for myself. And I'm going to do whatever the hell it takes to kind of get there. So everybody that's kind of watching, anybody that may be kind of watching through there, I love telling stories. I love being able to share things back and forth. And I love being able to kind of, be open and honest about what's kind of going on, because, your story, the guy that lives next door, even if, you have a guy that, people may work with, you may make similar money, you may have similar interests, but the plans that you have are completely different between how you want to take care of your family, how long you want to kind of be doing this for, and what's it like kind of on the other side. So would love to be able to connect with anybody that's kind of available, anybody that's open to a conversation, wants to shoot the shit about hockey or anything that's kind of going on about life, talk about their different businesses. That's really what makes me tick now. I love being able to do all of that. So anything that does kind of come up, please just let me know. And obviously, Shawn, we're going to be talking back and forth. I'm always getting some of your emails and getting some of your, the blog posts you guys kind of have out. So I'm excited to continue to kind of grow on some of this.
Lots of fire, man. I appreciate you sharing that story. Yes, please reach out. Take a look at the description in this video. Reach out, have a connection call, learn more, have some questions. He'll have some answers. He's a great guy. Definitely somebody to have in your arsenal. If you're in the business, you want to shoot the shit, join a team, things like that. Definitely don't forget Ben. Have a call with him. Everyone else, Ben, thanks so much for being with us. And everyone else, we hope you have and learned something today. Don't forget, hit share button. Have yourself an awesome rest of your day.
Thanks, guys.